In the third quarter of last night's primetime NFL Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington football team, the Eagles put in quarterback Nate Sudfeld for Jalen Hurts, and outrage went across the nation, from Giants fans and players crying because they depended on the Eagles to get them into the playoffs, to local and national analysts and reporters crying about the Eagles and the integrity and disrespect of the game. It is everywhere and continues today. What are my thoughts about it? Well, you may not like it, but you're going to hear it coming up next.
Oh, well, the Eagles, trust me, this is one of the rare times I'm actually defending this trash team this year. And I got all these the Eagles, they might get fired by the league. Motherfucker, you're before this game, you're 4-10-1. Are you, what the, oh, well, I'm playing to win the game. So what? You suck. You're done. It's over. Get the out of here. Oh, well, we're just playing to win the game. And, well, the Eagles are disrespecting the integrity of the National Football League. You know, I'm a punk made Colonel Sanders looking motherfucker, and I don't have a motherfucking thing to worry about for the rest of my damn life. I got it made in the shade. I got 6 fucking Escalades and 9 Ferraris. I own a motherfucking $250,000 a $250 million fucking mansion.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Eagles News Now podcast. I'm professional wrestler Chris Wilde, live from bar 4133, and man, I'm gearing up. I should put on the wrist tape because this is going to be a rough one, and I guarantee you, some of you are not going to like what I have to say, but that's okay because we all have opinions, and here is mine. Now, last night, the Eagles faced the Washington football team in a game that had playoff implications for the Washington football team and the New York Giants, who defeated the Dallas Cowboys earlier in a calamity of a football game, if we're going to call it that. So if the Eagles beat the football team, then the Giants are in. If the football team beats the Eagles, then they are in. Now, as far as the Eagles go, if they lose this game, they get the 6th pick in the NFL draft. If they win, they get the 9th pick. As crazy as it sounds, it's 3 spots, but it's absolutely huge. So, what do the Eagles do during the week? Well, they sit a lot of guys. The injury report was as long as Chris Jericho's list of moves, and the inactives were just as big. Let me just start this video off by reading off the guys that the Eagles would not have suit up for the game. Former starting quarterback Carson Wentz, Miles Sanders, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Mailata, Dallas Goedert, Richard Rodgers, Michael Jacquet, Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox, Josh Sweat, Jalen Mills, Mikel Roby-Coleman, and that's not even counting the guys that have been on injured reserve for weeks and weeks. That's not counting Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks. So with all those guys out, in what world did anyone think the Eagles were going to win? Now, look, the score ended up being 20-14. I get it. The Eagles had a chance to win, and if Jalen Hurts is kept in the game, they probably do win because the Washington football team is a bad football team, okay? They've got a pretty good defense, but the Eagles' offensive line, you had Brett Toth and Matt Pryor, both of whom should not be starting on anyone's offensive line, whether it's in the NFL or even in college for that matter, protecting what's going to end up being your starting quarterback for next year in Jalen Hurts. 15 different offensive lines throughout the year, and for somehow Jalen Hurts was able to move the ball on this defense, running in for 2 touchdowns, looking good throwing the ball. Now, his stats obviously weren't eye-opening as he was running for his life for a lot of the game. But in surprising fashion was the other side of the football, as the defense actually made, and I don't know, again, I don't watch many Washington football team games, but the Washington offense looked atrocious. It's surprising that they put up 20 points, to be honest with you. Alex Smith looked bad. The running game was I mean, they look like they just expected the Eagles to roll over. Now, look, as J.J. Watt said earlier, and I posted this in an earlier video, these guys played hard, and you know what? Good. They're supposed to play hard. They get paid a lot of money to play a game. So, the fact that Doug Peterson, I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place in this video, but the fact that Doug Peterson in the third quarter puts in Nate Sudfeld, who gives the Eagles a negative chance to win the game. He looked absolutely horrible. There was no way. I mean, look, Jalen Hurts scored because he was able to get away from the rush because of his legs. Nate Sudfeld was a mess, an absolute mess. He probably played his last NFL game. I don't know who would ever sign him after that performance. However, look, and going on Nate Sudfeld, this is a guy who was the backup in the Super Bowl. He's a 4-year player. He's not a rookie. He's not a baby. He shouldn't have looked that bad, even with the horrible conditions around him. I'm talking offensive line and wide receivers and running game, or lack thereof. He still shouldn't have looked that bad, but he did. So, of course, the Eagles now lose the game. Everyone goes crazy. This video, I really wanted to just talk about Giant fans and players, and then after today and just listening and my mind being blown at some of the local media and the outrage from the national media, it's just transformed into what it is now. But Giants fans, and look, I'm a fan. If I was sitting in your shoes, yeah, I'd be a little pissed off, okay? Yeah, of course. It sucks when your team doesn't get in the playoffs. But Giants players on Twitter last night going crazy and talking a bunch of trash about the Eagles. Listen, you're a 6-10 football team. 6-10, okay? You want to get in the playoffs. How about you win more than 6 games? Don't expect your division rival, who beat you earlier in the year, by the way, to get you into the playoffs. You lost twice to the Washington football team. The week before beating the Cowboys, you got demolished by Baltimore. The week before that, you got dismantled by the Arizona Cardinals. So I don't want to hear any of this crying from the players about the Eagles throwing the game and they can't believe it and it's unfair. Yeah, it's unfair to your fans because you're horrible, okay? Fans that are upset and mad, yeah, of course be mad at the Eagles because we're your rivals. You're supposed to be upset. You're supposed to hate us. You're supposed to not like us. I don't like you. But you should be more upset at the players on your football team for being such a disgrace of a team. Okay? Look, Doug Peterson puts Nate Sudfeld in. Or do you think I did a live stream? I'm not upset about that. Not one bit. Not one bit. And Seth Joyner went on TV afterwards and said that he's never been more embarrassed to be associated with the Eagles and that these players played their butts off and Doug Peterson owes it to them to try to go out there and win the game. Listen, don't give me that when for 17 weeks, I've had to put up as a fan and every other fan of these players not playing hard, of these players, the week that counts against the Dallas Cowboys, all the false start penalties, all the penalties, the encroachments that are giving the team, the other team first downs, letting the team run and pass all over them. Now, in the last game, the very last game of the season, where if you lose, it helps you. If you win, it hurts you. Now you want to give 1,000%, and we're supposed to look at it and go, yeah, absolutely. They're playing their butts off. That's crazy that he took Hurts out the game. No, it doesn't make sense. Don't give me that. I don't feel bad for grown men playing a game, getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, some millions of dollars. The fact that their coach made a business move, and it wasn't Doug Peterson, by the way. If you think Doug Peterson had control over that decision to put Sudfeld in, I've got an igloo to sell you in Hawaii because it's not. This is a guy last year that wanted his Mike Groh, his offensive coordinator, come back and said he would come back, and the day later, Jeffrey Lurie fired him. Doug Peterson doesn't have that kind of control, okay? That wasn't his decision. But either way, a business decision was made because, look, and Doug lied after the game and said he was trying to win the game. They weren't trying to win the game. We know that. With the inactives. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? A business decision was made, and look, as a fan, I'm excited for the 6th pick in the draft. I'm excited for maybe Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase or maybe a quarterback. I'm excited about that. I'm not excited who's going to draft because I think Howie Roseman does not need to be here. Again, another video for another day, but I'm excited about that. Am I going to care in April about the Eagles beating the Washington football team in a meaningless game and letting the New York Giants into the playoffs? No, I'm not going to care about that. Do I care about the 6th pick in the draft? I mean, to put it in perspective for you guys, and let's say you get the 9th pick and you wanted to move up to the 6th pick, you'd have to give up a 2nd-round pick to get that. It's big. The fact that the Eagles did what they did, absolutely no problem with that. And not only that, and this is a narrative that I'm not hearing a lot today. Jalen Hurts, most likely, I'd say 90% is going to be the Eagles' starting quarterback next year, okay? You've got him in a meaningless game running for his life against a guy like Chase Young that wants to hurt this man. And the Redskins' defensive line with Montez Sweat and the ferocity that is that defensive line want to stop Jalen Hurts. Why are you going to risk him getting hurt? Why? I would have pulled him after the half. Let him play 3 quarters. You let him try to win the game. He threw that. He had Quez open in the end zone and didn't get it. That's it. Put Sudfeld in. And another thing, guys, the Eagles said this. A report came out that Nate Sudfeld was going to get time. We knew this was going to happen, and when it happens, you have fans that are upset. You want to talk about integrity of the game? That's my next thing. You want to talk about integrity of the game? And look, I played a clip about EDP. I don't agree with him about a lot of stuff, but I thought he had a funny way of getting his point across. Integrity of the game. The Eagles, I had someone say to me, oh, the Eagles might get fined. Are you serious? Integrity of the game? Just Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs sat all of their starters basically. Chad Henne played quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you're saying integrity of the game means you play to win every game, you owe it to your fans to win every game, to put out the best every game no matter what the circumstance is. For years, teams have been sitting players so that they don't get hurt for the playoffs. But you're going to now talk about a team not having respect or integrity of the game because they sit their quarterback to protect them for the next season or to help them get to the playoffs next year by getting a better draft pick? No, it doesn't work that way, all right? And people say, oh, it's a little bit, yeah, okay, it's a little bit different because they're resting them for the playoffs. But if the integrity of the game means you're trying to win every game, if you sit guys, you're not trying to win every game. The Miami Dolphins yesterday could have gotten into the playoffs if the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't sit Ben Roethlisberger. But they did. They sat Ben Roethlisberger because they wanted him to be fresh for the playoffs. The Dolphins, they choke in their game, but they're still out of the playoffs because of that decision. Is it different when we're talking about integrity? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't put their best crew out. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't put their best crew out for the game. I mean, and I'm talking, this happens every single year, okay? And, while I'm at it, guys, and you know what, this might be a little bit longer than intended, but while I'm at it, because Dan Orlovsky, a guy that, look, I like a lot of his takes, sends out a tweet after the Jets lose the first. Remember, they won that game. They actually won 2 games, but they won a game that took them out of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. And Darren Orlovsky is saying it's not worth it to win a game if you're out of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. And then he sends out a tweet yesterday about what happened to the respect of the game because the Eagles decided to tank and not win that game yesterday. What's it going to be? You can't have it both ways. You can't. I mean, all these analysts and all this media laughed at the Jets for winning 2 games. But now you come down on the Eagles because they decided not to win yesterday. What is it? What is it? The media put out such hashtags as suck for luck. Do you remember that one? Or tank for Tua. Or tank for Trevor. But yet, the Eagles lose the game yesterday by putting Sudfeld in, who again is a 4th-year player. And outrage, disrespect, integrity. It's not right. It's stupid. I don't know if it's just a slow news day, and it shouldn't be a slow news day because it's Black Monday. You got guys getting fired. You got the playoffs about to start. You got the NFL that actually had a full season during the COVID era. That's big. But we talk about the Eagles putting Nate Sudfeld into the game for Jalen Hurts. It doesn't make sense. And again, I know the big thing is, well, you owe it to your players. No, the players owe it to us, the fans, who pay for all this crap, for all this merchandise, okay? To play hard no matter what. To play hard no matter what. And to me, putting Nate Sudfeld in the game, yeah, you're throwing the white flag. You don't want to win. I understand that. But that helps us fans because now in the draft, we've got this 6th pick, and it could, as long as it doesn't get screwed up, we can have a game changer. We can have somebody fun to watch. And I know we had plenty of chances at that the past couple of years, but we have a better chance with the 6th pick. I'm ready to it annoys the crap out of me. I don't know. And again, I'm not putting anybody down that has the opposite opinion, okay? If you were watching the game yesterday and you really wanted the Eagles to win, yes, you got gypped with Nate Sudfeld instead of Jalen Hurts. But the bigger picture of things, Jalen Hurts is now healthy for next year, and you have a better draft pick. And the Eagles need a lot. They need a lot. They could use a game-changing player. They could use Devontae Smith. They could use a Jamar Chase. They could use Patrick Surtain. They could use one of these guys, or who knows, one of these quarterbacks, where you got 4 quarterbacks that might go in the top 5. You never know, but it's exciting. It gives us something to look forward to, as this season has been absolutely horrible. It's been bad. There's so many reasons to be mad at the Eagles. There's so many reasons to have outrage on the Eagles. We're going to get into that because we got a whole offseason full of content to get to. But last night is not one of them. It's not. It's not one of them. It really isn't. It really isn't. Again, teams sit guys. I mean, it's not. Not something to get upset about, okay? Again, Giants players, it's your own fault for being horrible. A 6-10 team wants to get in the playoffs, and it's depending on the Eagles to put them in there. When you lost to the Eagles earlier in the year, doesn't make sense. Giant fans, be mad. Okay, you're fans, you're allowed to. But it's just absolutely laughable, this take the media is putting on it. It's nuts to me. It's just so nuts. You know, and I heard someone saying, well, it's different if you sit them in the beginning and then now you start to win and you pull a guy so you can't win. It's different. No, it's not. It's not different. Circumstance different, but as far as if you're talking about disrespect or integrity, you're still not trying to win the game. All right? I mean, what else is there to say? Yeah, last night's game was it was so crazy. All the guys that were out for the Eagles. If you look back at that Logan Thomas touchdown, Deontay Burnett, a wide receiver, a practice squad wide receiver for the Eagles, is playing cornerback on that play. Okay? The Eagles did not, they went into that game not trying to win. They didn't expect Washington to be as bad as they were. All right? So it's crazy. All the tweets, hopefully my producer's pulling all these tweets up. It was just nuts. However, I'm going to end this video on a lighthearted note, on a little bit of a positive note. You know, Eagles fans had a lot of funny tweets too last night. I found 2 that I found particularly funny that I want to throw up right now. The first one is from Connor Miles, who has a tweet, and you'll see it says, according to my calculations, and then he has some calculations, the Giants would have made the playoffs if they weren't garbage. Thought that was hilarious, and it's absolutely true. And then Dylan at Philaticus, hope I'm saying that right, says, what people seemingly forget about Philadelphia is the more you hate us, the more powerful we become. So absolutely, let the media drink the haterade. Let the local media drink it, whatever. 2020 Eagles season was the worst, one of the worst ever, and it's over, and I'm happy it's over, and I'm happy we got the 6th pick in the draft. And again, we're not going to remember this game next year. We're not going to remember. I mean, are you kidding me? Half these players aren't even going to be on the football team. But that's all I got for you, as this video went really long, longer than I expected, but I felt like that rant needed to come out. I don't know if anybody else is feeling the same way I am. It just, to me, I mean, whatever. You know, okay. The Eagles lose to the Washington football team 20-14, 4-11, and 1 on the season, 6th pick in the NFL draft this year. And look, man, I know a lot of people are going to tell you different, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. There is, and we're going to get into that coming up soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. If you like what I said, if you don't like what I said, please leave all your comments. I love hearing them all. And thanks, everybody that's been here with me this season, all the new subscribers. Again, this is a year-long thing for me. This is a year-long thing for me. It doesn't stop after the season, and the Eagles are definitely going to make it interesting this offseason. I love you all, no matter what. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game that I'm lucky to have a lot of passion about. So, stay safe, stay healthy. F the haters. F the Giants, too. Absolutely. F the Giants. You're going to go into a playoff game with Daniel Jones at the end of the day. Not much difference from Nate Sudfeld. Go Birds! I'll see you later.
Let them girls get down on the floor, on the floor. Let them girls get down on the floor, like a pimp. Like a pimp. David, batter, David, better, bam, bam, chick, 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 chick,
nation to stand